Hey everybody, it's your girl Marissa-Anne, and I just wanted to talk about something that's kind of been bothering me for a little while. There's this bandwagon that people are jumping on lately in the Star Trek community. Anytime something new happens in the franchise and they don't like it, um, they start with the negativity, like immediately. And the negativity can come from anything. Not just the fact that they're concerned about the direction of the show, but the fact that they don't like the particular actors that were chosen. They don't like whatever they think the direction of the plot or the story is going to be. They don't like the showrunners. They don't like the producers. They don't like the directors, because it does not remind them of the Star Trek that they had from back in the day. And they will use Gene Roddenberry's vision of Star Trek as a crutch to say that this is why it's not Star Trek. Now, Gene Roddenberry had his vision for Star Trek. But the way that I look at it is that this is not just a vision of Star Trek that he had. I think his vision of Star Trek is really his vision of the direction that he hopes humanity will go. Star Trek has evolved beyond a franchise. It's more than just TV shows and movies and comic books and merchandise. Star Trek is a community. It's an idea. Star Trek is about having the faith that humanity will change for the better. It's okay for you to disagree with people on various subjects. It's okay to disagree, but just because you have the right to say what you want, how you want, when you want, where you want, doesn't mean you are free from the consequences of the words that you say and the actions that you take. And that's something that people have to learn. Freedom doesn't mean I can do what I want and I can avoid the consequences. That is not what freedom is. Freedom is just you being allowed to be a human being, having the right to be a human being, having the right to have your thoughts, be your thoughts, and be whoever it is that you want to be. But at the same time, we have laws put into place to protect everybody else and to protect you. So just because you have the freedom to do what you want does not mean you are free from consequences. You will have consequences to the words that you say, to the things that you do, to the way that you treat people. There are consequences. Okay? That's part of life. If you don't like a certain Star Trek show, that's fine. It's totally fine. But don't go off and just start harassing people because they like something that you don't like. Don't go off and just start saying horrible stuff, horrible, terrible things about the actors that are part of the show, because they don't line up with your vision of what Star Trek is. Because, see, at the end of the day, this ain't about Gene Roddenberry's vision for these people that don't like it. This is about their vision of what they feel Star Trek should be. Okay? Star Trek is a show about progression. And believe it or not, every generation that has come progresses. Because every generation wants to do better than the generation that came before it. And that's what Star Trek is showing. We all keep saying we want this world that Star Trek is. Well, progression is going to have to take place. Okay? The comments that I see on social media, the videos that I see from people who claim that they know somebody that work in the industry, that they know somebody that work at Paramount, y'all say that same stuff all the time. And as I said, especially those of you who make these videos talking about you know somebody in the industry. No. First of all this stuff that you claim that you know somebody who works, you're saying the same stuff that you said before. You're saying the same stuff that people have been saying online. What you're saying is not new. And you don't even have any sources to back up the stuff that you're saying. Get off the bandwagon and tell us the reason why you don't like the show. Stop trying to stoke fear and stoke outrage. Okay? And not just for those who are making these videos talking about they know what's going to happen and all this, but for those of you who are on social media and like to talk a whole lot of nasty shit about people, cut it out. Because the stuff that you are saying to people online, you wouldn't dare say to their face. You know, the Star Trek community got some work to do on themselves. We got a whole lot of work we got to do on ourselves, because we keep saying that we want this world that we see in Star Trek, but yet we can't even agree to disagree respectfully. Every time somebody says something that you don't like, the first thing that y'all want to do is you want to start talking about them. You want to talk about the color of their skin. What does that got to do with you not liking an episode of Star Trek or not liking a certain comic book? What is that? That has nothing to do with it. Okay? I'm a teacher. And the way that I see grown adults treat each other on social media is the exact same way I see children treat each other. This is stuff that you do on the playground, the way y'all talking to each other. That's playground shit. Okay? It's obvious that some of y'all have not grown up yet, because you don't know how to have a constructive argument with somebody. Because you don't know how to have a constructive argument with somebody, you want to start talking about people. And because you don't like the particular actors that were chosen, you want to talk about the way that they look. You want to talk about the way that they talk. You want to talk about their size, their hair, how dark or how light their skin are. You want to talk about how old they are. They too old to do this. They too young to do that. You don't know that. And in fact, if you don't like that show that much, then how about you go over there to Paramount and present your ideas to them about what you want for Star Trek. And just so you know, when you go before these folks at Paramount, you can't go up to them for free, honey. Sometimes you got to pay a fee, $10,000 plus, just to talk to them for maybe 10 minutes. All right? If you want to be mad at Alex Kurtzman, go ahead and be mad at Alex Kurtzman. But the difference between Alex Kurtzman and your behind, he got the opportunity to tell his Star Trek story. He's telling his Star Trek story, not yours. You want your story to be told? Go on up there to Paramount and go have a chit chat with him. If that don't work, then go on over there on Backer Kit, Kickstarter, and make your own Star Trek fan movie. Just make sure you follow the guidelines that Paramount has set forth, because y'all know if you don't do it right, It's going to be a cease and desist. And stop using Gene Roddenberry's vision as a crutch so that you can spew out your hatred. Because that's what's coming out of you all. It's hatred. It's racism. It's all these different phobias. All of that is what's coming out. All because you don't like this new show that's coming out. That literally hasn't even dropped yet. It's a matter of hours before this show drops. And you all are just mad about it. Oh, it's Star Trek 90210. Okay, if it is, then it is. And if there's folks out there that like it, guess what? They like it. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. And guess what? It's fine either way it goes. But some of y'all out here need to learn how to have a constructive argument with people. I'm tired of y'all just running around here just thinking y'all can say what you want, when you want, and not face the consequences for it. That is not how we go through life. You are going to face the consequences for your actions. It's like y'all have nothing else better to do. You all are grown adults. And you all have not grown. Some of y'all have not grown up yet. Because you don't know how to have a constructive argument with people. And it shows. Y'all still acting, you still arguing with each other like y'all on the playground. Because somebody doesn't agree with what you say, the first thing you want to do is start talking about them. You want to talk about how somebody look, how somebody act, how somebody walk. Because that's the only argument that you have. Every time you see something different that you don't like, the first word that comes out of your mouth is woke. Just because it's different don't mean it's woke. And stop using woke as an excuse for everything. I swear, like, some of y'all just, ugh. We have a long way to go in this community. A long way to go. And Star Trek fans need to get themselves together and realize that we are just fans. That's it. We are fans. Yes, we have invested a lot of time and money in this franchise. But at the end of the day, we are fans. We don't have the final say-so in none of this. The writers, the producers, actors, showrunners, folks that are running Paramount and Skydance, they don't have time to listen to every single one of you guys' feedback. They don't have time, and they're not going to do that. They have their own way of listening to fan feedback. If they spend all day and all night listening to everybody's feedback, this franchise is going to fall apart. They're not going to spend their whole time trying to please every individual Trekkie. They're not going to. If most people like a certain show, they're going to keep making that show. And if most people like a show and they want to end it, they're going to end it. It is their choice. They make the final decision, not us. And here's another thing. If you don't like it, don't watch it. We say that all the time, but nobody does it. You want to know why? Because I don't care if you like it or if you hate it, you're going to watch it. Majority of us are going to watch it, whether we hate it or like it. Because a lot of you need content for your YouTube channels. A lot of you need content for TikTok. A lot of you need content for your other social media pages. So you can boo-hoo and cry and complain and say, I'm not going to watch this show as much as you want, because at the end of the day, you're going to watch it anyway. At the end of the day, you're going to read the spoiler reviews. At the end of the day, you're going to read the spoiler-free reviews, and you're going to come up with your own interpretation of it. So cut the crap. Grow up. For a community that preaches tolerance, a community that welcomes people, ooh, we struggling in that area. We struggling with welcoming and tolerating people. And here's another thing that I want y'all to understand. Just because you are welcomed and because you are tolerated and we show tolerance towards you does not mean we're going to tolerate your negative behavior, because we're not going to do that. Tolerance does not mean I accept your negative behavior, because at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my peace. I'm going to allow people in my life that are not going to attack me. That's something that some of y'all need to understand. Just because in the Star Trek community we welcome people and we preach tolerance does not mean we are going to allow folks to just come up in here and say and do whatever they want and treat people the way treat people the way they want without facing the consequences for it. That's something that y'all need to understand. That's something that y'all need to learn, because this is the type of society that we're living in right now, where folks think that they can say and do whatever they want and not face the consequences for it. That is not the society that we live in. We have laws for a reason. We have rules for a reason. Watch your mouth. Watch what you do. And treat people fairly. Treat people the way that you want to be treated. Again, the Star Trek community is a community that is welcoming, that is loving, that preaches tolerance. But we got to work on that still, because we're still struggling in that area. I love y'all. Y'all have a nice day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those who love and care about you. And treat people the way that you want to be treated. Y'all be good.